Hi, I'm Kevin Matthews, Scottish film fan living in England, and if you are listening to us this week, just please know that I love you more than anyone else in the entire world.
Oh, thanks, baby.
Yeah, it's fine. I love you most.
Is it me? Or
It's you. Yeah, it's your turn. It's your turn.
Okay. Hi, I'm Greg. Film enjoy living in England, and this week for our films, we've gone with a sort of accidental themed episode because we're going to be watching one film where you can't see anything, and then we're going to watch another where you can't fucking hear anything. So,
I'm Dave Gray, and this week I learned that New York is forever a city of fiction. I've been there, but apparently it's not real. Nothing there makes sense according to movies ever.
Martin Scorsese's real though, isn't he?
Well, yeah, Martin Scorsese's real.
Oh, thank God.
And beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I'm Tyler Hosley, and this week I learned over 50 million albums were sold by Nickelback over worldwide. So that's a fact for you guys. Just Nickelback albums, so many of them. 50 million sold, just so you know. Everyone loves them.
How many are yours?
I
Half of those.
I have them all, but yeah, I mean, I bought them all and vinyl too. So yeah, I have double. I have double Chad Kroeger, guys. Double. And this is Raiders of the podcast.
Yeah. How much Chad Kroeger is too much Chad Kroeger? Just wondering. Is there a limit of Kroeger?
A Chad Kroeger.
A whole Kroeger?
Ask Avril Lavigne. She divorced him, so maybe she knows.
Was that the pushback when you had the election issues with the hanging Chads? Was that what that was all about?
That's when he tried to be a hero to save us.
Okay.
But then we had to stand there and wait.
So I went to the theater last night and I saw Obsession, which I just absolutely fucking loved. It is
for me. Be very careful, Tyler. Be very careful.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna just do this really quick. I'm not gonna say anything spoilery, but I will say this movie. Usually, when something's super hyped up, I usually end up walking out of the theater somewhat disappointed, but liking it, but disappointed. This one fucking lived up to the hype. It is just so good. Indy Navarrete is a goddamn revelation in this. If the Academy gives out awards for horror, which I think they're kind of starting to do that now, she deserves every bit of recognition she gets. She's amazing, incredible. Curry Barker is a talent to keep an eye on for. I loved his short he did for YouTube, Milk and Cereal. I really love that movie. It's a really great short, and yeah, he's a goddamn talent. But I'll say very little because I know Craig is going to go watch this tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So I just won't say much. But yeah, it's really fucking good. And just go see it. Go support this. And besides that, I've just been watching TV stuff. I'm on You season 5, which is actually a huge step up compared to season 4. Feels like old school You finally. And I started a show called MIA, which is on Peacock, and it's just a drug cartel thing gone bad. It's okay so far, but I'm only in 2 episodes, so yeah, that's me.
I didn't watch a lot either. I watched, I really like the work of my Masayuki Suo, so I decided to watch the one that came double featured with Sumo Do Sumo Don't Blue, which was Fancy Dance, and it's okay. It's a lot of the same cast in a movie that's not nearly as good. It's still decently made and it's got some funny bits, but it's about a guy that's forced to go to a training school to become a Buddhist monk so he can inherit his family's temple. And it's just the cast is likable and that goes a long way, but it doesn't land. It's not nearly as good as pretty much all the rest of his filmography. So, it was a little disappointing, but it was okay. And essentially it was free since I paid for Sumo Do Sumo Don't. So yay, bonus. And then I saw the new Faces of Death from 2026, which I didn't care for. I like the writer and director Daniel Goldharber and I'm going to say it's wrong. I'm sorry, Issa Mazzy. Yeah, I think I said that right. Yay. They're the same folks that did Cam Girl and How to Blow Up a Pipeline. I liked both of those. So I really went in with expectations to enjoy this more. It just didn't work for me. And I'm not saying like it's terrible. It's competently made. My problem is like I just didn't ever care, and I hated the two leads, Barbie Fiera and uh, Darker Montgomery. I don't know.
That's the one.
They just both they kind of suck in it. And I'm not saying they suck in everything. I've seen them in other things where they've been fine. Like Montgomery was in
Stranger Things.
no, fuck no. Broken Hearts Gallery, and he was fine in that. And he was fine in Better Watch Out. I mean, fine in them. And he does what they tell him to. And I liked him in the Power Rangers movie from 2017. You know what? I enjoyed that fucking movie. So bite me. But here he doesn't work. His character doesn't work. The kills are all kind of dull. Like, there's 8 Faces of Death videos, and they could have picked like a ton of really fun kills, and they just picked some really dull ones. And then the Barbie Ferreira, she's in Euphoria. I don't know if is she in the current season, guys? Since you're talking about it
No.
every Wednesday.
Nope. No, she's not.
Okay. See, I'm not up on. I saw some of season 1, and that was it. She's not very good, and again, it's not so much her fault as the script. They're just both uninteresting and dull characters, and the setup is one I've seen before and done in a better movie. The rest of the cast is just wasted. Like,
Apparently,
it just doesn't.
Sorry, it's very similar to American Sweatshop. Apparently,
As I was about to say, yeah, that's the
that's
other movie I watched this week.
Ah,
That's the other movie I watched this week, which is a much better version of it. Yeah. It's better written. It's better. It's better written. It's better directed. And again, Faces of Death was fine on that level, but it didn't do anything to really stand out. It didn't really try to do anything new, and it kind of wasted a lot of potential. Whereas American Sweatshop embraces all the things connected to it and doesn't flinch from it. It was a very similar movie done better. I'm not going to say one ripped off the other because I think they were in production around the same time. Actually, they might have filmed Faces of Death first, although it came out a year later. But they were just two very similar things that just happened to be developed around the same time. But American Sweatshop is way better, and we will probably be watching it sooner than later.
I watched Muscle director Gerard Johnson's latest film, which is his 2026 thriller Odyssey. You guys know me; I'm a bit of a Gerard Johnson fanboy. I loved all 3 of his previous features. Like, absolutely fucking adored them. This one I really liked, but I can't deny that it's the least of his films so far by a distance. Like, Polly Mabley is the lead actress, and she is fucking phenomenal. She is so fucking good, and like the film stays with her character for the full 110 minutes. It never leaves her side while she's snorting coke and just spiraling horribly, and she's just fucking fantastic. She's the best element of the film. She's unbelievable. It looks great. It uses these kind of anamorphic lenses and fisheye lenses, and they really accentuate the character's isolation in the city and just constantly building pressure and paranoia. They do that really well. It's fantastic score as always, because Gerard Johnson's brother, Matt Johnson, is pretty much the main working part of post-punk band The Verve, legendary post-punk band The Verve. So he did a great score, as he always does. The story is where it doesn't quite land for me, because the first half is this really great mix of like escalating anxiety and like dark cringe humor. Because the lead in this, they wouldn't feel massively out of place in like The Office or Nathan Barley. They're very unaware and very cringy. But as it kind of moves into crime thriller territory, it loses a certain amount of tension. And it does that by it introduces a character who basically turns the entire third act into like a Deus Ex Machina. Is that how I'm meant to pronounce it?
Yeah, that'll do.
Sure. Yeah.
Deus
fine.
ex machina.
Deus Ex Machina. The whole third act is because it introduces a character who can just solve all of these problems that have been building up for the first 2/3, and it's frustrating. I mean, the climax is still really fun because it's very stylish and very violent and really quite funny, but it's not terribly satisfying because it's taken away any tension earlier in the film by introducing this character, and it's very, very annoying. But it's still a great watch, and like Mabley is such a wildly compelling presence that just watching her for 110 minutes is enough to make it a really enjoyable film. I just wish it had kept up. Like the first half is such a merciless grind that I wish it had kept that up and that she had been left to find her own way out of the problems she found herself in. It would have been way more interesting. But I really liked it, and anything Gerard Johnson does, I'm in. So I'm looking forward to his next one. Has anyone seen that? I assume it's just me.
No, I was tempted. I almost picked it for the show because it's now on BFI Player. It's been there for a little while.
It is, yeah.
But not yet.
Okie doke. I know
No,
you've
it's
seen
in
my
the
next
stack.
one.
I haven't gotten to it.
Kevin has seen Mark Jenkins' 2019 breakout feature Bait.
Yes.
Yes, that was excellent. It's been in my pile for in my pile, I say, because I had it digitally to watch. But I've been thinking about watching it for a while, and it's a lot was made of the production side of things, because it's filmed on a vintage like hand cranked camera, and like all the sound, all the dialogue was ADR'd in post, and it gives it a really unique and kind of evocative texture, But there's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot more depth to it. It's a kind of, I would say it's a philosophical kitchen sink drama. Like if you can imagine like a kind of unexplored midpoint between Ken Loach and Ingmar Bergman, that's kind of where it lives. And it just explores topics like tradition and gentrification and grief, class, responsibility. Like it's a really thick fucking brew of ideas, and the good thing is it really manages to avoid or invert expectations along the way. There's a scene where there's a showdown at a local pub that you expect to spill over into violence, and instead it evolves into something much more interesting than I'd expected, which kind of really works with the themes of the film. It's a very, very interesting thing thematically. Excellently performance by Edward Rove. Great support from Mary Woodvine and Simon Shepherd. Wonderful fucking score. Like if like me, you've had it on your list for a while, like bump it up a few spaces because it's well worth it. It's a terse, thoughtful drama with some absolutely stunning visuals. I really, really liked it, and I know that Kevin did too.
Yeah, really liked it.
Yeah, it's something a bit special, a bit rare and a bit special. Has Dave seen that, or Tyler?
I have not.
Yes,
Yes.
I have.
Dave like?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's a good one. And then my disappointment of the week. I don't know about disappointment because I'm not sure exactly how pumped I was for it. I watched Edgar Wright's 2026 dystopian sci-fi action movie, The Running Man. And that was not good. That was not at all good on pretty much every level. The setup, the social commentary, the satire, like all crazy fucking heavy-handed. Heavy-handed to the point of just not landing at all. The pacing is lousy. The structure is so fucking sloppy. The practical sets are bad. The CG ones are much worse. The jokes don't land. The action is just fucking dull and weightless. Like it's bad on a production, level. But my biggest issue is with the lead actor, with Glenn Powell, because I mean, I personally, if I was making this movie, given the themes of it, I would not have even considered putting a white dude in the lead, let alone the whitest white guy that ever ate a mild Nando's. Glenn Powell is so one note and just exceptionally fucking bland. I haven't seen him in anything else. So I know there's been a lot of talk about him in recent last couple of years. If this is what he does, I don't need any more Glenn Powell. Like this thing is begging for like a Yahya Abdul Mateen or Trevante Rhodes, They would have fucking killed it, but Powell is just the most. He is unbuttered wheat toast. He is so fucking dull and so one note, just awful, awful. Now, some of the supporting cast are fun. Josh Brolin and Coleman Domingo are just fucking super reliable as ever. They just, they never tend to let you down. And Michael Cera is a really welcome sight for me. There's 20 minutes of this film, this runtime, where Michael Cera is involved, and those 20 minutes are the clear fucking highlight. It's the best performance in the film. It's the only one with any memorable action, any humour that lands. Like I was sad when Michael Cera left us. I really was. So, but otherwise, it's plodding. It's plodding and it's overlong and it's all undercooked, with a weak fucking lead and an unexpected lack of imagination for an Edgar Wright film. You expect an Edgar Wright film to have a little bit more of something unique about it, and there is nothing. This it was very frustrating, and I can't believe how weak the social commentary was. But everyone tries to do Verhoeven, but no one has ever been able to do Verhoeven. They always. It's like they're leaning over his shoulder and copying his answers, but getting them all wrong. No one. I wish now, at 2026, so long after RoboCop and Starship Troopers, people would learn that only Verhoeven can really do Verhoeven. Stop trying. You're no good at it. But what did everyone else think of Running Man?
I have not seen it yet, actually.
Yeah, I skipped it. I heard so much bad stuff. I was like, and Glenn Powell? No, thank you.
I mean, I think I'm the only person that enjoyed it, and I'm now on the Glenn Powell train, but I can't disagree with your wonderful description of him, especially the mild Nando's.
It's not like there aren't white guys you could have put in that role that wouldn't have been fun, like a Tom Hardy type, but they put someone in who was just so insipid. But I would have much rather, someone like Yaha or Trevante. They would have. I just don't understand putting a white guy at the center of this film. And the annoying thing is, they know kind of what it's about and the counterculture elements of the film, so they surround his character with black actors doing tiny bit parts, and it's frustratingly it's almost kind of racist. I'm going to be honest. Bug the fuck out of me.
Let's be honest. It's because it was easy. If they put a black guy or an Asian guy in the role, racist would have been like, "Oh, you whitewashed Arnold. Arnie,
Yeah,
was a white guy. Why'd you take it from the white guys? If we did it the other way, you get all angry."
It would have done better at the box office because black people turn up to movies with black leads, and I feel like it would have done better at the box office instead of with Glenn Powell. But they made the decisions that they made.
I feel everything would do better with anyone except Glenn Powell, and then
Yeah, but that's me for the week.
Well, I'll try and redress the balance slightly on this Glenn Powell pushback because I'll go out of order. I watched How to Make a Killing anyway. I mean, this would send Dave into a rage storm because it is a remake of Kind Hearts and Coronets with Glenn Powell and
yeah, we saw it.
So yeah,
We don't talk about it.
I enjoyed it, but so I do. understand people who were like, why do they keep trying to make Glen Powell a thing? And I thought it was fun. I think it's fine in cheesy blockbusters more than anything else. Twisters was fun for a cheesy blockbuster. Was it Anyone But You with Sydney Sweeney, the rom-com? Jeez.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fine. When you get to How to Make a Killing, when you get to like Hitman, there is kind of this slightly desperate air about. I think he wants roles where he wants to be able to show as much range as possible throughout the whole thing. So you'd think Kind Hearts and Coronets would allow him to do that, and he's fine in the main role, but it's just like it's the film's not as sharp as it could have been. It's not as funny. The original's like a gold-plated classic. This actually, it lacks something, and I realised while I was watching it, I wondered where it would go at the end. I'm like, yeah, studio movies now, they still have to, like, bizarrely, they have to have sort of more course correction than you would have in some of the older films, because they're almost like bubble wrapping their stars a bit more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that really undercuts it a bit. But it was fun. I finally got around to that, and
Kevin's
it was
wrong
fun.
about that one.
I could definitely
Well,
imagining like managers and saying, "No, he's not going to do that." No,
So
looking for the script. No, I'm not going to do that.
Before we
no,
started
he's not gonna do
recording,
that.
remember how you said that Glenn Powell was like an uncharismatic Tom Cruise?
Yeah, he's
Oh, yeah.
Tom Cruise
Yeah.
without
That's
the
what
actual
How
love
to
for
Make a
movies.
Killing is like. It's like if young Tom Cruise before the cult and the human trafficking and owning slaves was in this, it would have worked so much better. Instead, Glenn Powell drags it down to absolute subpar trash. Michael Cera would have been better in the role also. I'll say that. He would have been so much, like anybody would have been better in the role than Glenn Powell.
Well, at least you had you had a couple of good supporting roles for Margaret Qualley and Jessica Henwick, and they are better than a lot of the
Yeah, but you
male
also had to
stars
watch
at the moment.
Topher Grace and almost dead Ed Harris make an ass of himself.
I thought Topher Grace was fun.
I
Anyway,
wildly disagree. Topher Grace will only be fun if he like jumps in front of a truck.
I kind of like Topher Grace. I really like Topher Grace in Predators. He was such a slimy piece of shit in that film. Oh.
Because Craig has said he also kind of likes Topher Grace, I am also not going to spoil Obsession for him, because I saw that today, and I agree with Tyler. It's, you know what, it's one of those ones as well that you can go to the cinema and see a lot of different things, but when you are watching a horror movie that just gets the balance right between some, horror and some shared moments to start nervously chuckling or just outright laughing at bits. That's a good feeling. When you're, whether it's a packed room or it's like today I was in there was about 20 other people, and we seemed to all enjoy this film in the right way, and we all had a chuckle at a couple of moments as well. I really like Corey Barker for this. I agree with Tyler. Like Indy Navarrete is, I mean, her performance here it's fantastic. Yeah, and it's the kind of performance that should get recognized for, like, what she shows. She gives a breadth of performance that Glenn Powell would only dream of. So yeah, it's highly recommended, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we did, Craig. That's all I'll say. So I did my homework. I finally watched Milk and Cereal. I didn't love it as much as lots of other people, but I did enjoy it, and I did appreciate it, and I was trying to get over my sort of long-held snobbery that's now being worn down by talented people coming through the ranks of YouTube and using the platform in interesting and creative ways. I think Corey Barker is doing that. I think with Milk and Cereal, it still has that issue of, you know, exactly who is editing and who's filming, but because of the characters that are presented there, you're like, well, yeah, actually, any one of those people could pick up the pieces and put this together. Whether you think it's kind of a twisty turnaway to show who's making the film, or whether it's quite straightforward, as in somebody has got all this footage and would be of the mindset that, well, yeah, it's going to get uploaded and shown to the people who like and subscribe. So I did enjoy enough in that that sort of got me eager for Obsession, which definitely surpassed that.
I've been thinking about Curry Barker. You know what's been playing on my mind a lot about him?
The fact that
His-
he really looks like the guy played by what's his face in
Texas
Texas
Muscatine?
Muscatine. Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he really
Yeah.
does. And yeah, I think he may
I
have
feel so
modelled
guilty
himself on that
saying
guy
that
for a
voice.
bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like it's the kind of lenses he wears, and like he's a white dude. But yeah,
He
sorry,
is.
go on.
He's more whiter than Glenn Powell, which is quite
Yeah.
something. What I can't stop thinking about is that his name is Curry. Has anyone else ever been called Curry? His name's
I'm sure
Curry.
someone with 2 R's. So you know.
Since when are people called Curry? I don't understand who named him Curry. I mean, Dave might call if he had, a child. I'm sure he'd. But
I
you,
would
you,
name
it
my
would be a
child.
particular
No,
Curry, wouldn't
it
it?
would. It'd be
You'd-
Vindaloo or
Exactly.
Lamb Vindaloo.
You're not gonna be that
This is my
vague.
daughter, Lamb Vindaloo. God damn, I want some Lamb Vindaloo. If I have a child, I'm sorry in advance, child.
So today was a really odd double bill, as I told you guys before. So before Obsession, I went to see The Sheep Detectives because that's the kind of day I wanted, and it was fun. It was cute. It was I really liked it. There was some bits that were kind of darker than I expected. I've heard people describe it as a mix of like Babe and Knives Out. I would say at times it's more like Babe, Pig in the City, and Knives Out. There's these like worryingly harsh moments that it just cuts around or starts to show you a silhouette. It was like, just, don't harm all the sheep in front of me. But it's cute. It was it was a good time. But watching it, do you remember? I can't remember if any of you guys watched the Robbie Williams thing, Better Man, who's like a monkey. Like he is a monkey in it.
Yes, I did, and I didn't talk about that one either because it hurt.
Okay, well, I enjoyed that, but I went through that thing of at the start, you're like, well, it's a monkey, it doesn't look great, and then eventually, well, for me anyway, kind of like adjusted and acclimatized to that, and I think it sort of made sense for the narrative. It was well done. Anyway, by the end, I was just like, oh, I've watched this film, and yeah, it was a monkey in the middle of it. The Sheep Detectives, in the earlier scenes, I'm like, all right, yeah, all these sheep are suddenly talking, and I'm not sure they look enough like real sheep at all times, and is this going to take me out of it? And by the third act, I'm like, God, I'm rooting for these sheep. They need to find the killer. They need to win. I will do anything for these sheep. And I think maybe that's just the way some movies have to work on you now with the CGI. Not really CGI filled, but we did finally get to see The Devil Wears Prada 2, rearranging from the weekend before. And if you like The Devil Wears Prada, you will like The Devil Wears Prada 2. If you didn't, then there's nothing to see here. It is, for what it is, it's pretty much ideal for that 20 years later kind of. I mean, did they call it a legacy sequel? Is that the proper phrase for that now? I don't
That
even
is
really.
the term.
Why is that a term? Is that because everyone comes back and it's like everyone's now fondly thinking of the original? Is that what legacy sequel means? I'm not
It
really
means
sure.
somebody wants to
Genuinely.
make money out
No,
of
it
an
means
IP
that they've
that they own.
revived a long dormant franchise.
Okay. All right.
Jaws of Life.
Right.
No, not
like
the
it's
clear, the paddles.
it's fine. Honestly, I never loved The Devil Wears Prada, and I didn't love The Devil Wears Prada 2. But as I say, like I could absolutely see it. It generally didn't warp too many of the characters. They felt like where they could be 20 years later. The only thing is, and people might be disappointed, that Streep's character does feel slightly softened, certainly for a couple of main scenes, and that kind of works against things, but you can also believe that over time and with the people that she chooses to sort of be a bit more human with, that's all well and good. So I think I said to you guys before, like the weekend before when we went along, we were just got to find something to watch. That's how we ended up at Michael. The cinema was just heaving with people for Devil Wears Prada 2. So if it's hung in with the box office, then it'll still be a good time for cinemas. 3 to go. Buckle up. I watched Good Fortune, the Aziz Ansari film about Keanu Reeves being an angel who basically touches people on the shoulder to help them avoid phone text based car accidents. He wants to help Aziz Ansari improve his life, and then wants to show him that money won't solve all his problems. But the problem is that money does solve all his problems. He does a kind of swap around, and that's the way that works. Ansari directed, wrote this, starred in it. He's quite fun in that. Keanu Reeves is great as a sort of well-intentioned but not absolutely capable angel. Seth Rogen is doing a Seth Rogen thing, and it has a bonus of a supporting role for Kiki Palmer, which I didn't know before I started it. So yeah, it was pretty good, but the biggest problem with it was it didn't really go hard enough on really, I think, what it wanted to aim at for the targets, which is kind of, people being encouraged to be part of the gig economy, and everyone kind of talking about their side hustles as if it isn't fucking exhausting just getting through every day and trying to have one job that would pay you well enough so you can pay your bills and have a decent life. So yeah, bit of a letdown there, but there is enough fun through it. There I finally got around to seeing the drama. I went along for that. Tyler loves the drama, doesn't he?
I do.
There's no way you didn't love the drama.
I do. I do.
Did anyone else not Tyler biased watch the drama yet?
Yeah, I went to the cinema for that.
Yes,
It was.
I did too. Not to the cinema, but I did see it.
Sorry, I forgot that you'd gone on to see it, Craig. Did you? I mean, yeah.
I liked it.
Once again, nobody likes most things as much as Tyler Way loves them. Did you like it though?
I liked it. Is exactly right. That's about as hard as I can go on that one. I liked it. It could have gone further with all sorts of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see. Strangely, I didn't think Zendaya and Robert Pattinson were like on top form. I think Pattinson gets to sort of, it's not quite the right phrasing, but he gets to have a bit more fun in his general kind of stunned expression for a lot of the runtime and what he's going through. So I wish they'd been better, but I also think that it feels like things could have gone in so many other directions. And then it also feels like the hot button topic at the center of it all wasn't really picked with good enough intentions to say as much as could be said around it. Or
Well, me and Stephanie were looking forward to it.
I mean, it didn't really say
for weeks
anything.
and weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
We were looking forward to it for so long, and the problem was when we've been looking forward to it for weeks, we were discussing what the information could be, and we went a lot fucking darker than she went.
Right.
Than
Yeah.
the reality. We went to some places that were just, we made ourselves feel dirty. So when it is announced in the film, it's like, oh, is that it? It's not any of these horrific scenarios that I've cooked up with my wife over the last few weeks.
And a number of other characters, they kind of feel potentially worse. And the only time it worked well enough for me was, as I say, Pattinson's like bemused expression and the cutting to the dialogue with the wedding photographer was great. I liked that, and it's
Oh,
really
that gag was really, really, really good.
yeah, and it's a very small thing, but I did like the I just like the character of the one of the wedding DJs, like the other wedding DJ, just made me laugh. That was it. Last but not least, taking a real sidestep here, but I finally rewatched Bumblebee, the Transformers movie about Bumblebee, and yeah, it still holds up. It's a fun time. I watched it a few years ago. I hadn't reviewed it yet, so it's still on Netflix. I own it, and I was just like, I feel like I want some Bumblebee cheesy goodness, and it delivers. It's bright. It's got a fun soundtrack. I'm a big fan of Haley Steinfeld, so she's in the main role there. And yeah, I think it's great. Which reminds me, I still got that animated Transformers movie that I've not yet watched. So I will soon complete my Transformers movie viewing once again before Tyler tries to drag us all back to watch like Dark Side of the Moon or something.
Why would you put
I
that
won't
out
do
there?
that. I won't do that. I won't
He'll
do that.
do
to you.
that. I've got to make some stop motion movie where the Transformers have this like rundown apartment where they're just doing drugs and selling their bodies, and it'll
I have,
be
like-
Tyler's favorite Transformers
You have
movie
neither
ever.
the time nor the patience to do that. I wish you
I have
did.
like 5 Michael Bay movies that I would pick before Transformers. Pearl Harbor being number 1, but Pearl Harbor, fucking Armageddon, Bad Boys 2. Yeah, any Michael Bay. I love Transformers, but yeah, no,
Okay.
I would put any Michael Bay movie before it.
Well, guys, you can thank me for the heads up on what's coming at some point in it. So,
We've seen his
mark your
top 100
diaries.
list. We still know what's coming. I'm marking them off with a pin as we go.
And I think generally that was me. I will warn you all against Godless, the Eastfield Exorcism, which was my Shudder watch this week and was not very good. That's all.
This week, we saw the 1993 experimental avant-garde film Blue and the 1998 drama Fiona. Hey, Kevin,
Yes,
would you like to pick a movie and tell us about it?
sure. I will go into the plot description for Blue. Thanks, Dave. So yeah, I'd heard about this for many years. I'd never seen it. It is a blue screen with someone talking over that screen and explaining a lot about their journey, their life, how things have moved with the sort of their life as a gay man and what has happened with the AIDS crisis. I think that sums up. I didn't realize I would stumble so much over the plot for Blue. I don't think I've seen anything else from Derek Jarman as of yet. I've heard his name as a celebrated filmmaker. I've heard of him, as a celebrated artist, but I've not seen anything else from him. I want to say the film that gets mentioned most is it Jubilee? Did Jarman do Jubilee? Or am I getting confused? Is that Ken Russell?
No, that's Jarman.
I think that's one I always thought I would get around to first. I didn't expect Blue to be the starting point, despite how much it has cropped up in film conversations over the years because of what it is, and it is that blue screen because I think it's either to do with the medication or the illness or both. was taking away Jarman's sight. So this is giving that impression as well. I really like this, Dave, but I do find it a difficult one to discuss because obviously most of it is about the dialogue and the experience. But I did find myself, I kind of thought I would put it on and I might, struggle because obviously it's just a blue screen and the words are going. But I was kind of really engrossed in this from the beginning. First of all, if you know why it is just a blue screen, that just it almost motivates you to keep giving it your full attention, even though you know you're not getting anything else go across that screen. As long as you know the context, I think it's like you feel, it deserves your full attention and the time that you're giving it. And I think it runs at just under 80 minutes. But then the dialogue was really, I mean, it's full of just absolute gems. It's like this, it's this weird mix of kind of modern sort of kitchen sink poetry is what I would say, and then obviously statements that are about very specific circumstances that apply to this individual narrating and would have applied, in different ways to a lot of people who certainly in the kind of the worst period of the AIDS crisis. Which, so I mean, this was early 90s. I just remember being aware of it as a kid when they started to do the public service announcements, and there was a big sort of push. And then I think in America there was lots of resistance to that for a long time, and I believe it's one of the things that that Elizabeth Taylor was celebrated for kind of helping to get fundraising done and stop it feeling so stigmatized. Would I be right there, Dave, or am I way off?
Well, she did work for it, but I feel giving too
No,
much
I mean,
credit would be
I'm not wanting to give her like over credit her, but was that not due? Was she not the one who was it due to her friendship with Rock Hudson?
Yeah, she did a lot of it.
I've read from things from people, when they mention either Rock Hudson or Elizabeth Taylor at that time period. It's one of the things that a lot of people bring up in terms of how she was.
Well, she started an AIDS foundation, which provided direct care and moral support at a time when nobody else was. So, I mean, she was very important. I don't want to undercut that either. Just
No,
yeah,
I think you had to have at least a few big figures pushing back against what is it, was the Reagans?
oh yeah.
Trying to not do much or even make it worse for some people. Anyway, yeah, with everything I thought about this going into it, it was, it was a full and moving movie experience, bizarrely enough, despite it being a blue screen and somebody just talking. Yeah, I really appreciated this, and yeah, I appreciated the artistic choices made and the dialogue and what it does to just present it in that way to people. So yeah, thanks for that, Dave. And at some point, I will have to check out some other maybe more standard features from Jarman.
Before I say what I'm about to say here, I love Jubilee. That movie is fucking incredible. Everybody watch Jubilee; it's so good. I really don't have a lot to say about this one though. Like I have maybe like 2 notes, and that's about it. I didn't care very much for this as a whole, and I feel fucking horrible for saying that. But I did struggle through this one. The absence of a visual medium really hurts it for me, and I know that's the point. But for me, I just when it comes to films, I'm a visual guy, and I just need that visual medium. I've said this so many times on this podcast. I'm a style over substance kind of guy. If something looks pretty, I'm usually all over that shit. And I know it's something deeply personal with Jarman's experience of suffering with late stage AIDS, and the blue being on how his vision became so impaired that he can only see like shades of blue. And I totally get that. I like what this movie represents as an avant-garde art piece. It's auditory poetry, and I tried to review it as such. I did like the audio. I did like that the audio is both a mix of narration and soundtrack. I mean, the dialogue is good. I actually had no idea Tilda Swinton was one of the narrators. That was cool. I really like Tilda Swinton. But yeah, it's a super raw portrait of this filmmaker's experience dealing with that fucking god awful disease, which is the reason why I highly respect what it is. It's just not a film that I enjoyed personally. So, but yeah, I feel horrible for saying that shit. But yeah, it's just not something I enjoyed as a form of entertainment, but I appreciate it as an art piece. I'll just leave it at that.
Cancelled.
Done.
No, he's allowed to think that. I mean, it's going to make it sound like I'm getting retaliation when I talk later, but it's not.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this film a lot since I watched it at the start of the week. I watched it on Monday and Friday now, and yeah, I'm thinking about it a lot. Like when making art, I think it is entirely valid to, through research and just having a sense of empathy, to explore topics that you don't actually have any personal experience with. I don't think it's artistically redundant or dishonest to do that. I think it is entirely valid, but seeing a lot of that, it definitely doesn't prepare you for something as searingly fucking honest as Blue. It is jarring. Is Derek jarring? No, sorry, don't say. No, not Derek jarring. But it is jarring. It hits really, really hard. I think we're all going to have difficulties reviewing this because you think how do I review this? Well, the score is stunning. The score is absolutely stunning. There's so many different tones that it has to work with and complement. So you'll have oppressive, discordant drones in one passage, and then you've got this really serene, lilting piano and harp in the next. And it has so much work to do, and it doesn't just complement the narration and its themes. It feels so completely intertwined with them, but they don't even feel like separate elements. They're like just separate brushstrokes which merge together. It's quite something. The narration, again, reviewing this seems kind of silly, but the narration is a lot. It's a lot in a lot of ways, like tonally, like the lurching changes in tone. You have these almost transcendental passages of just quiet introspection and philosophizing, which almost always end in these like really harsh, violent interruptions. It's a startlingly like effective translation of Jarman's like mental state and the progression of his illness. It makes you, it paints a very vivid portrait, and the words themselves, they convey such like incredible depth of feeling. There's just so much there. It's loving and angry and longing and caustic and funny and devastating. Like there are two particular passages. I feel like I have to call them passages rather than scenes. It just sounds right. There are two particular passages that left me shook, as the youngsters used to say about 10 years ago. Jarman's take on the nature of charity. that was really fascinating. The virus was appropriated by the well, and a sense of reality drowned in theatre. These are thoughts that I've had on the treatment of mental health issues in recent years, and I always struggle to really articulate how I felt about that. And Jarman does that here with the kind of the cheat code of just being very much smarter than I am and having something beautiful and evocative to say about it. And yeah, I really felt that. I really, while I don't think like my mental health issues that I've had are ever on the same scale as obviously the illness he went through. Like, I felt that one. I felt a connection to that passage. And the other one that really affected me is it's a poem with Jarman represented by the colour blue and his disease represented by a yellow or the yellow belly, and this kind of battle raging inside his body. It's beautifully written, just absolutely stunning piece of poetry, but it's punishing, like fucking grueling and oppressive. Like it is incredibly difficult to listen to. It's like a bedtime story that David Cronenberg might read to his children. It's fucking brutal. Yeah, anything I say about Blue beyond, watch it and experience it for yourself is ultimately redundant, because it is as personal an experience for the viewer as it was a project for Jarman. But I will say, like, that Jarman took this subject matter and this personal experience at that time, that so many people would, understandably keep private, that he chose to be so open and vulnerable with it. It completely transcends cinema and just becomes it's a gift to humanity, really. I mean, it's a lot to it just is. It is a gift to humanity, because so many people can they can go to this project when they feel that they're alone and realize that they're not, and it's a beautiful thing. It's like being invited into somebody else's heart. That's my best description. He's inviting you in, and it's a privilege, really, and a stunning piece of art. So yes, wonderful stuff.
So this was always coming. We were always going to do this, and way back in 2017, 9 years ago, next week was the first time we all got together to record an episode. So I figured it was time to finally pull the trigger with the most anti-Tyler film I could think of. Sorry, T.
Sorry.
I love Blue. And part of it is because of what draws me to any media. I am a heterosexual white male, increasingly in his middle ages. And what draws me to all media is stories outside myself. And it's something I never understand, folks that demand only reflections of themselves in things. Because for me, I want to see lives I could never live or understand. And I first saw Blue as a teenager at a film festival, and it left an indelible mark on me. It is the most intimate, raw film I can think of. It is film to me. Yeah, the image doesn't change, but it is better looking than another movie we watched this week to me. Because it's all part of the experience. It's all one. It is a piece. Now, I do know that this did run on BBC Radio, and that's how most people originally came across it in the UK, which is a choice, and I'm sure it works wonderfully like that. But for me, the blue wash is the Tibetan bells chime, and he starts to chant the name of lovers and friends that had passed away previously from AIDS as a prayer repeatedly is deeply affecting. A lot of his asides are just devastating, and it's again, it's why I come to stuff. I get to understand an experience that is completely alien from my own and completely outside of my life, and that's what draws me in, and that's what I find fascinating. And for me, endlessly, this will always be one of the greatest works ever made. From his memories of the first openly gay person he ever met, because Jarman was pivotal and very front running when it comes to homoerotic imagery in cinema. And openly queer works in the West, in the English language. Sebastian is an incredibly important work. But his thoughts ramble all over, and it's just it's rare that you get to wear someone else's skin, even for just 79 minutes. And Jarman lays it all bare and invites people in as deeply as possible. And it is like, I use these words too much, but it is absolutely stunning to me. If the doors of perception were clean, then everything will be seen as it is. And that's what he tries to do, is open the doors of his own perception. And I waited 9 years to pick it. I have a few other ones that I've waited almost as long that aren't quite as good. But yeah, I love this work, and I think everybody should go see it. And you can actually watch it free on YouTube. Kino Lorber, who released the absolutely gorgeous Blu-ray I have of it, has it free on their page, and you should watch it. You should check it out. It's not for everybody. It should be. I don't think it's, I don't think it says anything or it's a failing if it doesn't work for you. But this is a unique experience that I think everyone should at least try to approach with an open mind once.
Did anyone else? Sorry.
Pretty staggering work. Yeah, go for it.
Did anyone else see things in the blue as well? Not clearly, but like just the film conjuring images, the words conjuring images, and they were like they're just little somethings that were at the bottom of a really, 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 really deep pool. Just bits of something here and there.
Maybe. I mean, I've thought it before, but I don't, I don't know. I didn't this time.
Nothing that was actually there, obviously.
Yeah, no, but I understand. No, I get what you're saying. I'm saying I've had that before while watching it. That's what it was the first time I saw it on the big screen in a dark theater. It was like, okay, yeah, I totally understand what you're getting at, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Should I go with Fiona, or does Craig want to take it?
What would you like?
I'm good either way.
What would make you happy?
Both work fine for me.
You go ahead. I'll go after you.
All right. So Fiona is the story of a sex worker who was abandoned at the age of 6 months by her sex worker mother, raised in an abusive foster home, and then begins hustling the streets of New York. She falls in love choosing heroin and murders a bunch of cops. And it's kind of I kind of fucking hate this movie. It's terribly made, it's terribly acted, it's horribly written, and it's greatly exploitative of the sex worker community, because instead of actually paying people, they just get a bunch of sex workers to hang out in the background for free to pretend that it lends this movie an air of verisimilitude, when the reality is this is one of the wankiest bullshit head up my ass films I have ever been forced to watch. It says nothing, it does nothing. I will say, in its favor, the lead is atrocious. But the woman who plays the mother has a couple nice moments, especially towards the end. But like nothing's seen, nothing's earned, nothing's grounded in reality. It's just it is a fantasy. It's a masturbatory fantasy made by an incompetent who has never felt a human emotion and doesn't understand how people work. It's truly shit. Just runny shit. I'm sorry, T. I know it sounds. I said it would sound like I was getting revenge, but I'm not. This just totally separate. I think Amos Kollek he's a waste of space, and the fact that he got to make so much stuff and all of it is absolute ass. All of it is absolute ass. Is just it's a slight. It's a slap in the face of so many better filmmakers who never even got a chance. Fucking hate this movie. I hate Sue even more, if that helps.
Okay. Yeah, I went into this one with no real expectations. I didn't really know what I was gonna get. Like a Tyler pick is like a roll of the dice, but with slightly worse odds, you know. But I did see a couple of positive reviews. What the headline of one review that really stood out to me was it said Cassavetes on crack, and having watched Fiona and having researched the long-term effects of smoking crack, yeah, I'll buy it. This could easily have been made by a 69-year-old crackhead who had been dead for a decade. Like, it's the only explanation. Like, obviously, a crackhead can't afford actors or a boom mic or a professional editor because they spent all of their money on crack. So I see the vision. Yes, okay, but that doesn't make it. I don't even understand where they got Cassavetes from. They're out of their goddamn mind. This is amongst the very worst things you've ever made me watch, T. Like ever. It was like, you know that scene in Manhunter with the Tooth Fairy and Freddie Lounds? It was like Tyler would gaffer tape me to a chair and he had one of those clickers and he was clicking through the slides and he was like, another unsimulated blowjob. Do you see? Do you see? And it was hard. It was a hard fucking watch, man. I will say one nice thing, and it isn't really related to this film, it is tangentially connected to the film. I always liked Anna Thompson as an actress in the early to mid 90s. Like her roles that she tended to get, they were very small roles, but she always, for me, she excelled at playing these kind of tragic, damaged characters living on the periphery, you know? She was good at it. She was like a genuinely memorable bit passer, and I had a bit of a crush on her as well. I always really liked her, but she's terrible here. She's really terrible, and like 20 years older than the parts as written, which is insane. Like, I don't blame her for being terrible. I blame the incompetent directing her, but she is terrible. The 10% of the dialogue I could hear was laughably bad. Like the rest of it was so unintelligible. I have to assume it was like a massive influence on Christopher Nolan. Like I couldn't hear a fucking thing. The camera work is terrible. The editing is worse. The soundtrack is torture. This fucking movie. These are some baby ghost ass production values. Like it has the exact same production values as Baby Ghost. At least I felt bad about Baby Ghost. I said, "Hey guys, I'm sorry, Baby Ghost is bad." There's zero, and I mean it, zero artistry here. There is nothing. It is incompetence itself. It doesn't even have like a decent story to fall back on. Like, I think that's where the crack really takes hold. Like, I was praying for this to pick up for the first however many minutes until the diner scene, where, you know, our protagonist guns down 3 fucking cops for no fucking reason at all, and it never gets mentioned again, and there are no consequences. Like, she just gets on with her day. Like, What the actual fuck? She would not be able to leave her apartment for more than 20 minutes without getting gunned down in the fucking street. This is pure crack smoking fucking nonsense. Like, that's where I mentally checked out. Just fucking amateur hour Tarantino wannabe bullshit with zero positive attributes, like zero. This is cinematic smegma. Like, if I could be angry with you, T, if I was capable of it, I'd be angry at you now. But you're adorable and I love you. So I'm not angry with you. But God knows where the point is. Because if this isn't the point where I get mad at you, I guess we'll find out as the years roll on. But dear God, T, please don't pick any of the sequels too soon, because just sequels, but other films by this terrible filmmaker, because I need a break.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much I can add to that. I agree 1000% with Greg on all points. I agree with Dave for what he said. I agree with everyone who is disappointed, who is angry, who is frustrated at not being able to just have the right I don't know, the right process to form the intervention that Tyler so sorely needs. That's what we need. We need the right people. We need some room that we can lock him in while we all create a circle around him, talk about the hurt he's caused us over the years.
Just grab his shoulders and shake him, but you can't do that
Yeah.
on the podcast. You just can't.
Use the phrase, we're not angry, we're just really disappointed a lot. We can do that.
Oh no, I'm fucking angry about this one.
Sneakily, well, he's got that many tattoos. You won't notice an extra one while he's sleeping. Just maybe, I love you, T, but on your forehead, I'll put "Stop torturing my podcast co-hosts." So that'll be there. Yeah, I didn't like this, and I'm now worried for my sanity, knowing that it's part of a trilogy. You bastard! And that's, I think it was Mike that mentioned that. Damn him! I saw the reply from Craig already. It's like, shush. Stop taking us down that road. I was like, is he kidding? Fuck, he's not kidding. I really don't think there's like,
It's the worst thing an Israeli's ever done.
Wow, and these troubled times, Craig. Yeah, it's like, I know that Tyler will like the aesthetic and like what's going for it. Like, there's nothing I'll be able to argue against from that point when it comes to personal taste. But for me, this doesn't feel like it has anything to say. It doesn't feel there's any value to it. As Craig mentioned, when he highlighted the scene where people are shot in a diner, the cops are shot. It's just it's ridiculous. So on the one hand, you're going for this gritty realism and want that throughout, and on the other hand, you're just wanting this complete, just violent fantasy moment that is, belongs on our film, belongs on, like, Pulp Fiction 2, Electric Boogaloo or something, whatever it wants to do. So it doesn't work, doesn't engage when it comes to the characters, doesn't engage when it comes to any meaningful thematic exploration of the ills of society or the problems that people have and how they seek to escape those problems. It offers nothing apart from a certain amount of voyeurism for people who are, desperate enough to, hopefully get their next fix with either cash they've earned from sex or just like sex acts on their own. That's it. I will say the one part of this I liked was Mike Hodge. I'm not saying I liked how his character played out or, how any of the storyline he was involved with went, because it's another just part of the constant problem of this film with the horrible attempts at reality and the weird fantasy element. But I like Mike Hodge in this, and I agree with Craig as well about Thompson. Like I've liked Thompson in other films, and always thought she could benefit from the right lead role. This isn't the right lead role for her. It is a character that was written, I would say, to be played a bit younger, and she just doesn't feel right in this role. It's like she did this as a favor to someone. I don't know whether that's true or not. The only person that has the full behind the scenes documentary and 3 feature length commentary tracks will be Tyler, but this feels like she has offered to do a favor for someone. It's dragged out a bit. She's done more than intended, and then that's it. It's a
Now
really
imagining
tiny
like a
stain.
commentary track that's just as badly recorded as the audio in the film. So you watch it and you just hear people go.
Yeah, I mean the audio was one thing. The picture, I mean, I've seen clearer graphics when the only thing I had on my phone was Snake. That's how bad this picture was. Again, the only person who's invested in the 4K Blu-ray package though is Tyler. So I'm happy that he has all of these collectibles on his shelf. It's probably got a little syringe kit just there. You worry me so much, Steve. But I'm sorry. Cut a long story short. It's already gone too long, but I hated it. We all hated it. You love it, T. Tell us why.
I mean, I already went, guys. You just didn't hear my review because I tried to make it sound like the sound in this movie. So, but I'm right. No, yes, I do really like this movie. And I'm not just saying that because I spent $40 on the DVD many years ago.
Jesus, dude. You should sue. That's theft.
Well, actually, if you really want to get down to it, I spent 80 total because I bought this and Sue at the same time for 40 a piece. So I did. But
Did you buy this and then you're like, how do I get my money back? And he went, Sue. And you thought that was advice, but he was just selling you the other.
No, I bought them at the same time because I was interested in the subject matter, and so I bought them both. $80 total on Amazon. They both came at the same time.
Jesus.
This was a while ago, though. This was many years ago. I've seen this movie a couple times since. It's been a while, but I've seen this like 3 or 4 times, shockingly. But yes, I do really like this movie. And look, I knew picking this wouldn't be for everybody or most people. But I don't know. The aesthetic here is my jam. I mean, you guys know me. You know my aesthetic of what I like in movies. This is my fucking jam. This movie opens with an unsimulated blowjob 4 minutes in, so you know what you're getting pretty quick. It's just filthy, scuzzy 90s New York set addicts and sex workers. This was actually shot in a real crack house apartment building with some real sex workers and some real addicts as well. It's a narrative feature, but they did try to go a faux documentary route as well. Although it's not really a documentary, it's just kind of shot to resemble one. I don't know. I revel in shit like this. I love watching movies that make me feel disgusting and filthy, and I love the way this movie looks. Yes, it's ugly and it's messy, and the sound design is really not very good. But I mean, that's just I don't know. I think that's exactly what it's supposed to be, and I'm sure that was this filmmaker's intention because his sequel to Ken Russell's Horror, he actually made Horror 2, and it looks exactly like this movie, like just identical. You really can't tell the difference between any of his movies. They all look like this. So this is exactly what this filmmaker does. Is it positive towards sex workers? Not really. I mean, yes, I try to pick sex worker positive movies for the most part, but I also like movies that aren't positive. So, because not every job is positive, no matter what the hell you do, and sex work included. So, I don't mind if a movie is like negative towards that subject matter. It's ugly subject matter, yes. The shooting up scenes are super realistic because I think they were. Most of the sex in this is real, so I'd imagine the shooting up sequences are real as well. I did not hate Anna Thompson's performance in this. I kind of liked her voiceover, what you could hear of it, and the scenes with her and her mom finally meeting kind of broke my heart. I really like that scene. And to be totally honest, I had no idea this was Darla from The Crow. Like that kind of shocked me. I found that out this week. It doesn't even really look like her anymore in this movie. So I don't know. I am a fan. I'm a fan of this whole trilogy, and I won't pick the trilogy. If this caused you that much pain, I won't pick any more of these movies. Maybe horror 2, because I actually really like that one. That's a nasty movie. But I know Dave said he hated it, but Sue is probably the best film of the three on a purely technical level. It's the best of the three. The sound design is
That
better.
is
It
a
looks
really low bar, to be
Yes.
fair.
It looks better than this. Like you can hear it. Like the sound design is a lot better in Sue. Like on a technical level, it's a better film, which maybe you guys may appreciate it more on that level because it does look better and it does sound better. But Fiona does scratch off that scab of grungy, drug addicted sex worker cinema that I love. So I do like this movie a lot. I've seen it a couple times and I don't know. It works for me. So, but I can understand why it wouldn't work for somebody else. I just like it.
Kind of hate to say these next words because I know how it's
Blue.
going to go. Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got.
Do I even
You
have to
know.
say it? Yeah, I just won't
I
say it,
mean,
but you know what I'm saying.
No, go for it. Say it. Bring it.
Yeah, no, I if I were to pick out of the two, I'd watch Fiona again. So yes, Fiona.
Good
I would go for
God.
the more aesthetically interesting film and choose Blue.
I will already forgive T for making us watch that film because I don't think I've ever heard him do a proper badumtish before, and that has almost saved this
I
week.
mean,
But it was a close call, T.
it's time to pack it up. We finally got a badum tea.
I tried.
Mhm.
So what do you got for us next week, guys?
Well, this is not intentional. You know, I love you deeply, Tyler. Not intentional, but I picked a film that I think Dave will probably like and Tyler will probably hate, and it just turned out that way, Tyler. So we're going to go with the 2026 indie sci-fi adventure Obex.
I am going with the 1982 Richard Pryor starring Some Kind of Hero.
Those are wildly different movies.
I
Again,
thought
yay
they might
us.
be.
T,
Yes.
let's show that there's no hard feelings by giving the business.
We're on Instagram, Raiders_of_the_podcast. We're on Facebook, where I sometimes remember to post stuff on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday we upload the Euphoria episodes now. So you got 3 more weeks of me remembering Wednesday, or Craig remembering Wednesday, one of us. We have a YouTube channel where you can like, subscribe, and comment and watch Kevin's awesome videos. We have a Discord, we have a Blue Sky, and you can always email us at raidersofthepodcast@gmail.com.
As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me, guys. I cannot encourage you enough to go see Blue, but if that doesn't sound like your thing and you're one of Tyler's 5,000 side pieces, check out the other one instead. I'll talk to you next week.
See you next week, guys.